everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, I'm Patty, and on Thursdays I do budget-friendly home decor. And today I have some spooky Halloween decor for you that I think you'll really enjoy. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start with these paper mache houses. This is a set of 3 that you get at Hobby Lobby for $10.99. Now you can get those at Michael's too, just you get 1s and 2s, but you don't get a complete set. This was really a good deal for these, and they're pretty sizable as well. Okay, I'm going to start by painting them with some black chalk paint. I'm going to paint the inside of them and the outside of them on all of them. And I'm going to paint the roofs as well, the inside and the outside of those also. Just make sure you get every bit of it, even the little window ledges, painted. And really this didn't take that long. I did these pretty quickly, and the paint, it's going to be a matte color, so it really did look kind of spooky. Okay, I bought this little set of cats on Amazon. I'll give you the link for those, and I'm going to spray paint all of them with a matte black Krylon paint. Okay, I'm taking a metallic black paint, and I'm just going to sponge my houses. And I'm just trying to give it a little bit of texture on each one of them, and I'm going to do this to all 3 of them. Just kind of spend a little time on this and really get in the crevices and everything. It just gives it not such a plain look. It gives it a little bit more defined look. And I'm going to do it on the bottom of my houses as well. Okay, then I'm taking some cardstock and I'm just going to cut a square and score both sides of it. Now, I really thought that this was going to look good. I thought I could set a cat on it and you'd be able to see it through the window, but you really could not. It just gave it like a little shape. And so I'm just going to cut the corners, and then I'm going to glue this to the inside of the house. You can skip this part because it really, all it did was just give a shadow look to it. It really didn't show the cat at all. But I'm showing you this step because you'll be wondering here in a minute when we do the windows why I didn't show this to you. And then I just glued a cat right on top of that. Okay, next for the windows, I'm just going to take some regular tracing paper, and you just get it in a notebook at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to cut it just to cover up all the windows and the doors on all of these. It was just thin enough to where you could see the yellow light once I put the lights in it here in a little bit, and it did shine through real well. So just go ahead and just glue those right onto the back of all the windows and doors. And then just trim off anything on the top so you can get your lid back on. Okay, to light up my houses, I got these lights on Amazon. They have 8 different settings on it, so you can either go really wild or kind of dial it down a little bit. And you don't even have to unwind them. Just put them into the bottom of your box, and then I'm going to take some 3D glue dots just to attach my housing to the back of my house. That way that you can use these again pretty easily. They'll come off pretty easily. And just make sure that your wire is facing upwards so you can drop it down into the house and put the lid back on. Okay, for each one of my houses, I am going to put one of those black cats up on the chimney, and then I'll put some down around the edges of the house as well. But I just got vines, and I got some vines at Dollar Tree, and then I got that little garland that looks like trees. I got that at Michael's. And just start cutting it up and decorating it up. If you're using the vines, though, make sure that you're starting down at the bottom so it does look like they're growing up the house. And I'm going to kind of go fast through this and just kind of let you see exactly how I decorated it. And I'll do that on each one of these. And then you can kind of just follow along on there. But I'm not going to go real slow. I'm just really adding a lot of things to this. And then I got some spiders too I'm going to be putting on the house as well. And I got those at Amazon, and I'll give you the link for all of this. And I'm just trying to make the house look kind of like it's abandoned. This really was a fun project. If you don't want to do Halloween or you don't decorate for Halloween, you ought to go ahead and get you some of those boxes because they'd be super cute for gingerbread houses. And I may do a gingerbread house theme with these during the Christmas time. All right, there's how that one turned out. And then I'll show you here in a little bit how I made those books as well. Okay, this next one is the mid-size one, the second size up from the smallest one. And I'm doing very similar on this one. I'm going to put a lot of vines on this one. And then I'm going to add some of the tree-looking pieces that I got from the Michael's garland that I showed you here a little bit ago. Okay, and these little trees are what I cut off that garland that I got at Michael's. And you get a lot of those trees. So if you're doing a haunted house scene or something like that, definitely try to pick one of those up. They also came with some really big spiders, you know, if you're doing another project, but they were a little bit big for these houses. And then I'm going to add a couple of cats to this one here. And then I'm adding some spiders also. All right, I really like the way that that one turned out. I'm going to do something very similar to the next one, except I'm going to add a lot more trees. Okay, and this is the largest of the three houses, and I'm going to add quite a bit to this one. I'm adding a bunch of the trees because they did take up a lot of space pretty easily. And you got a lot of them. Now, had I done over again, I would do something different on this house here. On the roof part, I think I probably would have used some crackle medium paint and kind of made a crackling look on that instead of just sponging it. But you can play with these and do anything that you want to, but the more stuff that you put on them, the more that they look deserted. And I didn't do anything to the back because my light source is back there, and I may want to take those off later and do something else with them on a different project. Okay, and then that's how that one turned out. Let me know in the comments what you think, and let me know if you do decorate for Halloween or not. Okay, I got these two books at Dollar Tree, and I just took their covers off. And then I'm going to paint those with a Waverly Truffle chalk paint in brown. And then I'm going to add some crackle medium to both of them, and I'm going to put it on pretty heavily because I do want my paint to crackle. The more you put on, the more it will crackle. So put it on pretty thick. I'm only doing the top and the spine. I'm not doing the bottom. Then I'm going to take some Waverly wax, antique wax. I'm going to mix it in with some water, and then I'm going to antique the pages. I'm just going to kind of brush this onto the pages. And try to blend it out as you're going. The more you add, the more distressed it looks. But just kind of get it blended in. It took me a little bit. Just add a little bit of extra water and just kind of really get it blended in. Let my crackle medium dry for 2 hours, and I'm going to come back in with some Waverly black chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the spine and the top. I'm going to paint the bottom later, but I'm going to wait till all this crackle is done. And once you get all this on, just kind of set it aside, don't touch it, and just let it start cracking. Got these plastic letters on Amazon. I'll give you the link for those, and I'm just going to pull off enough to spell the word potions and spells. And then I'm just going to cut all the little tabs off the back because these actually go on message boards. You want to make sure that they are flat. Then I'm going to put them on some paper, take them outside, and I'm going to paint them with a flat chestnut metallic paint. Look how good that crackle. Can you see that in the camera pretty good? Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and glue my letters down onto my books, and I'm just going to do them sideways like that. These really did turn out good. They do look like they're old books, and they worked out pretty well. Let me know what you think. Okay, on the next one, I'm just going to take a Dollar Tree vase. I'm going to paint it with a flat matte black paint. And then I'm going to go ahead and just attach one of the little skeletons to it. And I got these skeletons at Dollar Tree. Just kind of glue it where it can stand up. And it didn't take a lot of glue, just a little bit of glue. Okay, then I'm just going to take some sticks that I got at Hobby Lobby and just put them right down inside of it. That was pretty simple. All right, turned out pretty cute. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, there you have it. There's our haunted houses. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see future videos, hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I have another video, hit the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments whether you decorate for Halloween or not.